an unexpected tie-in game. This is Sitting Ducks, an early 2000s children's show that I never heard of until researching this, brought to us by Universal Television and airing on Cartoon Network for just 26 episodes. And the game brought to us by Azobo Studio, the developer that brought us that fucking weird Super Farm thing. Super Farm was their first game, so let's take a look at their second. Ducktown, a town populated mostly by ducks, shockingly enough, where scooters and bubble cars roam the streets, constantly colliding with each other with the boing sound effects you will hear ad nauseum. But these annoyances won't dampen the spirits of our protagonist, nor will a dog biscuit. Good widescreen. These are coming thick and fast lately. This is Bill. Prepare for the duck-related puns. Relaxing at home doing some painting. He receives a phone call from his friends, Ed, Odie and Waddle, to join them for milkshakes. Where? They don't say. Because having the player find their own way is one way to get the movement and navigation tutorial in there somewhere. And we're off to a great start. Inverted camera controls with no option to change it. You know how much I love that. It doesn't matter too much anyway, as the camera does a semi-decent job of following Bill around on its own. Ducktown is an open world environment, inhabited with clumsy idiots and the usual incompetent lazy idiots who need their arses wiping.
Bill, I know. You want to offer us all double milkshakes.
You're taking us for a picnic?
You found me a new patient.
The typical protagonist-NPC relationship of, please do this tedious task for me, for I am an NPC, ergo a lazy shit. Main and side missions are indicated by these giant floating M&Ms and Skittles respectively. Bill can purchase a variety of scooters later, but for now he uses a skateboard, which gets him around a lot faster but is no less crashy than running. After an evening of milkshakes, and the viewing of the latest episode of The Running Duck, which is literally just about a duck running from something, Bev, the diner owner, warns of reasoned attacks.
You know, they say attacks.
This scares Ed, Ollie and Waddle home, but Bill's got more balls than that, so he decides to take a nice stroll home and alligator attack! Skate, Bill, skate into those T things. They can be, TPs. Yeah, that's it. Head for that giant O, which could be, I couldn't find a rip-off candy for that one. Bill dodges out of the way, and the alligator smashes his face against the wall. Bill takes pity on him, but confronts him about trying to eat ducks.
What are you doing here? You shouldn't eat ducks. It's not nice.
All right already. Just go away and leave me alone. I'm in pain.
This is Aldo. He's not really a bad guy. He just gets carnivorous urges. Bill invites him to stay at his place for the night, then take him to see Dr. Cecil the dentist in the morning. And that's episode 1. Yeah, don't expect any grand tale here. A thing that irked me was the feathers. Initially, the game doesn't tell you what they're for. Bill loses feathers when bumping into things, and this can happen a lot. So I thought he would die if he lost them all. No, they're the currency in Ducktown. I only found this out in episode 4 when Bill has to buy a scooter, and I didn't have enough feathers for it. You accumulate feathers by completing missions, and since I couldn't do any missions until I had a scooter, catch-22. Also, if you need to restart a mission for whatever reason, any feathers you've lost in the previous attempt are still lost. Reloading the save is the better but tedious option. I read there's a way to scare feathers off ducks by using a pair of dentures, but that's further into the game, so what choice did I have? I had to start the game again. Fortunately, episode 4 isn't that too far in. After a few more missions, the feather rewards do start to increase, and since future missions require it, Bill can now start purchasing scooters. After he passes his test, of course.
How dare you be late for my class!
Sorry, madam.
Silence, useless dirtbag! Get ready!
A faster vehicle is great, and will relax those timed missions, but that also leads me to Sitting Duck's biggest frustration. I mentioned that the collision sound effect won't dampen Bill's spirit, but it did dampen mine. Everything and everybody crashes into everything and everybody. You can't turn a corner, turn around, walk down the street, or even start a mission without somebody eager to jump right in front of you. If you've ever played an open world game involving vehicles, like Grand Theft Auto for example, you know how irritating it can be when the traffic seems to be out to get you. Now imagine that 10 times worse. Are the residents of Ducktown suicidal, stupid, or blind? Well, since all the food that we ever see in the game is milkshakes, ice cream and candy, I'm guessing it's diminished eyesight due to rampant diabetes. Since everybody in town knows Bill, maybe it's like a Truman Show scenario, and this is all a deliberate farce. Attention everybody, Bill's on a mission, places people. Around episode 4 or 5 is when the tedium sets in. All Bill doing is living his life helping people out. It's a slice of life game, filled with timed fetch quests and people just wandering the streets on a looped patrol, like the Truman Show. Yeah, maybe that's it. Everyone in town automatically knows Bill because he's the star of his own show. The ratings are starting to take a dip. Throw an alligator in there to spice things up. But but even with the inclusion of an alligator, it didn't spice things up for me. From what I'm assuming is a children's game, this can get difficult. The sheer amount of timed missions remind me of The Simpsons Hit and Run. I like that game, but it was chock full of timed missions, and I feel that is a lazy and frustrating way to add excitement and tension to a game. No, failing a mission by a couple of seconds is not fun. So why not just save up the feathers to buy a faster scooter? Yes, you can do that, but that doesn't solve the collision problem, you just crash faster. So because of this, I didn't finish it. Not that it matters anyway, there's no overarching story, it's purely episodic like the show. So as an adaptation, it succeeds in that at least. It looks exactly like the show, all the voice actors and music is there, but is keeping that close to the original material a good thing? It doesn't really do anything different, it's just Bill the game. Be Bill, see the wonders of Ducktown. Bill's manipulative friends. See the job he doesn't have unless you count Dog's body. But then the currency is feathers. That's like needing cash, going to a barber's and sweeping up the hair. This could have been fun, but it's been ruined by sluggish vehicle controls, non-existent NPC AI, and too many time missions. Do yourself a favour. All the episodes of the show are on YouTube. Watch them instead.